I think that about 5 guys should hoard the majority of the stolen wealth and resources.
Yeah? Well, I think it should be 10 guys and 5 women, and maybe one of them is even black.
This meme points out the irony of a two-party system that ultimately channels wealth and power upward, each side doing it in its own style, just packaged with different marketing. First, you have the Republicans, who talk openly about supporting policies that benefit a very small group of ultra-wealthy elites. For example, most recently with Trump's Big Beautiful Bill, which he signed on July 4th, which extended tax cuts for the wealthiest individuals and largest corporations in this country. Now, this is currently taking away what would have been billions and billions in tax revenue for our government, which in turn is creating pressure to cut public spending, which ultimately disproportionately affects the lower income and working class households. These cuts are usually to Social Security programs, Medicaid, SNAP, infrastructure, education, etc., all things that the average American depends on to have a fair shot at living a dignified life. Or, to put it more simply, the 99% suffer in order for a relatively few elites to hold on to slightly more of their money every year. This also has the obvious effect of just concentrating wealth at the top and further exacerbating the historically absurd wealth inequality we are experiencing in this country. Basically, everything Republicans do and say is in service of enriching the wealthiest people in this world. And while they may occasionally try to hide their true intentions behind culture war distractions like trans athletes or woke DEI nonsense, for the most part, conservatives openly and directly serve the elites. They're shameless about it. Democrats, on the other hand, are a bit more crafty in their service to their overlords. Instead of just bending over, spreading the cheeks, and giving massive tax breaks directly to the wealthy, the libs hide their giveaways in progressive-sounding policy. A perfect example of this is public-private partnerships. This is where the Dems will identify a public good, something like clean energy or affordable housing, initiatives that most of us obviously would support, and then they will allocate our tax dollars to private corporations in order to execute these public goods projects. We, the public, financially take the risk, and the private corporation takes the profit. This is basically how Elon Musk made his godlike wealth. 80% of Tesla's early revenue is just billions in taxpayer money, our money. They were awarded through regulatory carbon credits. SpaceX is basically all just NASA and military contracts, again, tax dollars, and his solar company is no different. And then when this wealth inequality inevitably grows, like it did under Obama or Biden, rather than just be open about it like conservatives are, Democrats will cover it in this phony progressive framing. For example, celebrating how diverse the rich and powerful are. Whether a billionaire is a woman, black person, or a Mexican, it makes no difference. Billionaires are the problem. So instead of our government just directly funding things like healthcare, clean energy, or affordable housing like most other countries already do, America has two political parties that solely exist to serve rich people while the rest of the country crumbles. At the end of the day, this keeps happening because no matter who wins an election in this country, we're still operating inside a capitalist system. And that system will always naturally push policy towards serving wealth and the concentration of power.